there is like a long, long list of politicians, celebrities, media figures, all these people who are involved. Out of these 120 people, they're not just all suing Diddy. It's Diddy and other people who partook, other people who joined in, all these things, man. And it's absolutely wild. Like it is going off.
So
It's going off.
just to touch on that there, and just bring the mic just slightly closer to your mouth. That way we make sure we
Yeah.
get in the green zone there. But what I heard was an interesting take is that more than likely any celebrity that was involved in this isn't actually going to get in trouble, but whoever was running this show or whoever gave Diddy this power to do this is going to use whatever tapes they have against them to force them to say what they want them to say.
Which I think has already been happening. And the thing I heard today when I was like, there was a podcast. It's called Podcast of Lotus Eater. They're really good on YouTube. I listen to them. But the guy said that his take on the world now is that if you ever see a politician or a celebrity or anyone do something that just seems a bit odd, where you're like, why they do that? It doesn't make any sense. Just assume that there's some video of them doing some inappropriate things with minors. Just assume that has to just be the assumption now. That is the way the world works. That is the real currency. There's reports even when he was in like university for a while. He did college over there. He did the same thing. He used to have college parties even when he was like a younger man. But I think that they co-opted him for that sole reason. And we talked about it in one of the earliest podcast episodes we did, like maybe the second or third one I had with you. We're trying to figure out why they went after Andrew Tate so much. Bold man bad, we called it that episode. It was quite a good one. But we talked about a thing where nothing concerns the powerful more than an influential figure that they don't have control over. Like if you fall underneath that, like influential figure who has an audience and people will listen to, and they don't have a way to co-opt you, you must be destroyed. And that's why whenever you have these like social media seem to be, I think that they're really struggling to clamp down on, because anyone can pop up and have an audience. Anyone can have an influence. But maybe the people that we see, everyone who becomes really famous and successful, everyone who gets favored by the algorithm, may already be co-opted. Anyone who's not, anyone who's just a regular person, can only ever get so far through the system if they don't have a way to control you. Which would be absolutely crazy if that's the case, but I think it might be. I think everything's just like, everything's fake. I think every famous person you see, every influential person you see, I think that you only see them because you're allowed to see them.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It's kind of ties into that dead internet theory. Well, I don't know if you saw that video, even though like I'm not a massive fan of Destiny, but he had that thing where he was going through, and I don't know if you probably didn't see the video, but it was him on his live stream. And anyways, they were getting like a whole bunch of hate and stuff, and he was replying to people on X, and he was like, "Man, these guys are replying to me, but some of the stuff they say is really weird."
Mm.
So, anyways, he looked at their profiles, and the more he looked into it, it almost seemed like it was really advanced AI bots responding to
Yeah.
him, like even roasting him on topics that actually would make sense, but then saying really strange stuff afterwards. And, anyways, he went through a whole bunch of these different like
Accounts.
profiles or
Yeah.
accounts, and he noticed that they would all talk to each other, but it was all like this really weird stuff. And then when he went to the account and he would click on the account and then search the image of the pictures that they'd uploaded, it would tie into these things that were just completely not relevant to this person, even though it said like this guy is a doctor. And they looked at the photo and then they reverse image searched the photo, and it was like some guy that had gone to
Yeah.
jail.
Just some
And it was
stock
just,
images,
yeah,
right?
and it was just like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? So then after he was looking into that, there was this other guy that someone linked. It was like, I can't remember. It was like Echog Chikolian. I can't even remember the fucking name. It's such a weird name. But he had these full YouTube videos, and apparently he was like associated with the president and all this sort of stuff. And they were looking at him, and they were like, "Man, this guy doesn't even seem real." Like, and they were watching the videos, and his hands weren't moving that much, and the way he spoke was a little bit strange. So, anyways, they kept looking into him, and they were looking at pictures that he'd posted. And in one of the pictures, it was like him standing with these two other guys. And then in the background, they were like, look at the photos that he's got on the wall and look at the books. And none of the books had names on them. And all the photos like had blurred faces. And it was like,
Jeez.
what is like,
Yeah.
but this person's got like thousands of videos and full like all of this stuff that should be
Yeah.
verifiable, right? So then they were like, what the hell? And then out of nowhere during the live stream chat when they were looking at this, someone was like, "Oh, this guy is real. Like, check this out. He had this court case where he was getting sued by the FBI, blah blah blah." So some random person just posted this in there, and then someone checked the link. So, anyways, it had this like random court case with his name in it, and this weird sort of case that was going on that apparently he was
So
getting
it's just a
sued
fucking
from,
AI article that got
right?
generated around it.
So they
Jesus.
looked into the profile that posted it, and it had been made like maybe minutes earlier, and it was something about destiny, like the name. And then when the guy posted it, this article or like this file that came off the FBI website, apparently, like none of it made sense